Hello and welcome to Quartz Like Your Car Brochure channel, and in today's episode, the Skoda Octavia. Welcome back, and if you're new to Quartz Like, we're a car brochure channel here on YouTube, looking at car brochures from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s and sometimes beyond that as well. So if you're into car brochures or cars themselves, please consider subscribing. Anyway, back to today's episode. We're firmly in the 90s with the Skoda Octavia. This actually brochure is quite an early one for the UK. It's dated 1998, so let's have a look at that now. So here we have today's brochure. Stickers now available in the shop, so have a look at the shop. There's a few other bits and pieces in there as well, but yep, stickers are now out for the channel. You can also become a member now, so if you want to have a look on the homepage, it'll show you about becoming a member as well. Trying to wait till we've got over 10 members, and then we're probably going to add extra features, but a little bit early to add extra things for members yet. So if you are a member, just be a little bit patient. But anyway, back to today's episode. Like I say, the Skoda Octavia, lovely front cover, isn't it? And this is a very early brochure actually for the Octavia in the UK at least. The Octavia was first released in 1997. Well, actually 1996 actually. It was for the 1997 model year. In the UK, sales began in 1998, and this brochure is dated 1998, so it's just showing the saloons in this version. The estates appeared a little bit later, I do believe, but in the UK it was a great success until the second generation came out in 2004, and it was a decently built car. This sort of like new generation of Skodas, getting rid of the bad name they got in the UK, which they didn't deserve a bad name. I think the old Skodas were absolutely fantastic, but this sort of Volkswagen-esque German type Skodas now proved a great success because they were decently built at a great price. Kind of like think if you can't afford a Passat, this is a good alternative for sure. A lot of them found their way into becoming things like taxis because they had a great price and they had great leasing and financing deals, I seem to remember. Anyway, there is a dealer stamp at the back, so let's just have a look on the back cover. And here is that back cover. And actually, I said something a little bit wrong, and it's understandable I said it a bit wrong because it's not really a saloon. It looks like a saloon, doesn't it? But it's actually a hatchback. Quite one of those another clever little designs. We featured a saloon that was actually a hatchback a couple of months ago, but there it is. Another one of them lovely designs. You want the look of a saloon, but practicality of a hatchback. Clever design. Like I said, there is a dealer stamp. Strange dealer stamp actually. It looks like they've stamped it 3 times for reasons unknown. Garland Motors. And if we can just about make out, it looks like that's on Waterloo Road in Hampshire, I do believe, and a little bit of a Skoda sort of dealer stamp on the side there. Don't know why they stamped it so many times. That's very random, isn't it? At the bottom there, the Skoda badge, and of course part of the Volkswagen Group now. And I do believe the date is on here somewhere. Yep, there it is. Edition UK June 1998. Back to the front cover, and I've kind of like zoomed in on that very interesting Skoda badge we have. But like I say, part of the Volkswagen Group now. So much more of a German type of Skoda in many ways. Anyway, let's open the brochure up and have a look inside. So as we open the brochure, we're greeted with this rather lovely looking example, which we'll certainly zoom in on a moment. And on this side, it starts talking about the factories. Not going to read all this, but some interesting pictures. Let's just have a look at that. So this lovely image is actually, it's saying established in 1895. 1895. And this is the first Skoda factory in Prague. Or a long tradition of well-made, good value, enjoyable cars. Attrition continued with the new Octavia. But like I say, it's kind of a new generation for Skoda, a completely different car in many ways. And if we pan over to the opposite side there, it's showing how things have changed. Our new factory represents major advance in our environmental responsibility, covering every aspect of production, from purifying the water used in our new paint shop to incorporating a high content of recyclable materials. And then we get the main image of the car itself, colour coordinated, everything in silver, looking very nice. Skoda badge still there, and a little bit of a nice grille and nice alloy wheels as well. Anyway, let's turn the page and learn a bit more about it. So there we go, a little bit on the next page, looking at the interiors. Entitled A Welcoming Project, and a little bit of a clue, that these aren't really saloons, they're actually surprisingly hatchbacks. Let's have a zoom in on the interior. Zooming on that interior, nothing out of the ordinary really. I would imagine if you didn't have that Skoda badge, you'd think you was climbing into a Volkswagen really. That's all it reminds me of, Volkswagen. They didn't really try and change it too much to say this is very much a Skoda from a traditional point of view. They've gone, this is a Volkswagen really with a Skoda badge on, in many ways at least. So really the text here is really talking about, what a nice interior it's got, the sort of cloth or velour that you can get depending on which model you've got, and of course that very practical hatchback idea where it's showing you can get a full bike in there. With the seats folded, 60-40 split seats, full bike you can fit in there. Really showing that even though it does look like a saloon, it's so practical, a very practical car. And of course, you could get the estates for if you needed to carry even more things around. Diagrams, of course, your traditional, seats you can fold half down or none down or all down. What you've been getting in car brochures for a long time, but certainly a good demonstration of how practical a car they were. And then more interior views and saying extensively equipped. Good value for money has always been like a Skoda thing, really. So they kind of kept that in making this a lot of car for the money, so that is a very Skoda type of thing, so I think that worked well. And the only people that didn't really or completely put off these cars were purely for the badge, because all the jokes for Skodas previously, even though I still say the old Skodas were fantastic, but there were still lots of jokes surrounding them. I think a bit of badge snobbery, I guess, probably put a few people on, but really you could pull that badge off and put a Volkswagen badge on and it'd be completely believable, wouldn't it? So it's really rather silly that the Skoda badge would put anybody off, to be honest with you. But certainly when we zoom in on that interior, and there we go, the interior. Very German, isn't it? Very Germanic interior overall. Could easily have that Volkswagen badge on there. But straightforward, not too exciting really, but I'm sure very well built. So then, extensively equipped, let's just zoom in on them images and see exactly what you got. So you get adjustable steering wheel, fitted to all models, power windows, electric windows are fitted to both front and rear for added convenience. Little bit of a star, saying not available on the LXI model, so not for all of them. Passenger airbag. And we get a sunroof, again that little star saying not available on the LXI model. A multifunction display, fully adjustable seats. We can get air conditioning, but just on the SLX models, and looks like electronically adjusted and heated mirrors. Little bit of a star at the end saying not available on the LXI model. So as we get to the end here, it starts talking about how safe and strong it is, as well as refined and reliable. Let's just pick out some key points, I think. So we've got this interesting diagram showing these two full-size airbags and pre-tensioners, which automatically take up the slack in the front seat belts. We've got 20 valve technology. The 1.8 petrol engine has an advanced 5 valve per cylinder design, giving optimal combustion and consequently greater output with modest consumption through the rev range. And the 1.9 turbo diesel, which I'm sure the taxi drivers loved, our first turbo diesel, a fully proven Volkswagen Group design which delivers both power and efficiency. Now, because this is a very early UK brochure, we're then on the back pages with not specifications but a page entitled "The Car You've Always Dreamed On" and "Helpful and Dependable." So maybe they haven't got the full specs ironed out at this stage, I'm not sure, but certainly being very early, they quite often miss certain key points that you might be interested in. Let's just zoom in on this nice example in red. Looks good in red, I have to say. And of course, a nice alternative to all other Volkswagens or Seats, like the cheaper alternative really, but with all those features, making it a very much very much like Skodas of old, meaning the sensible, cost-effective choice, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It does start talking about the car you've always dreamed on, which is a bit of a stretch, but basically saying it's an outstanding car with head-turning looks, good quality, realistic price, kind of things that people really want at the end of the day. It also comes with a three-year 45,000 service and maintenance package, another little bit of a thing to attract you to wanting it. And then if we look at the next page, it starts telling 220 dealers in the UK, and that free servicing for 3 years and 45,000 miles, certainly an attractive little proposition there. 3-year unlimited mileage warranty, free AA membership for 3 years, exclusive insurance packages, attractive finance, Skoda Solutions and Skoda Mobility. So lots of little things that would really attract you into buying this value for money car. And then that's it, that takes us to the back page of the brochure. So there you go, the Skoda Octavia. If you actually own one of these, let me know how you got on with it. Always interested to hear real world experiences. Or if you had a choice, would you have gone for something different? A Volkswagen Golf, a Volkswagen Jetta, Seat Leon, I guess, Seat Toledo, that sort of thing. What would you choose? Maybe even an Audi A3, or would you spend a bit more and go for a Passat? Let me know how you feel about these cars. But thank you so much for watching today. As always, enjoy making these, so I hope you enjoy watching them as well. And if you're new, please do like and subscribe. And of course, you can become a member now as well if you so desire. But we're putting out content 4 times a week, all free, and I really enjoy doing that. Thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. All the best and goodbye.